And now we will present you Mr. Thomas Osdoba. Mr. Thomas Osdoba is the Program Director of the Net Zero Cities, an EU-funded collaborative platform of 33 European organizations supporting the European missions for 100 climate neutral and smart cities by 2030. He joined 8 Climate Kick in 2018 as a senior advisor and created and launched Healthy Clean Cities, a cutting-edge effort to help cities respond to the climate emergency and provide insights to the European Commission for its mission process. A Minnesota native, he has over 35 years of experience on sustainable development around the world and is an expert in community and economic development, sustainable finance, policy innovation, governance and leadership. Mr. Thomas Osdoba holds a master's degree in public policy and a Bachelor of Science degree in economics. Mr. Osdoba, we're very fortunate to have you here today. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much and good morning, everybody. It's great to see you. And I'm delighted to join. And I'm also making a special note. I shared with Constantina when I saw her in Barcelona to plan a good visit to come and see you all and get to know you and to be able to see the work that you're doing there. It's all very exciting to see this progress. And I want to thank you for inviting us to join in this. I mostly wanted to share just a few observations and thoughts, both as it relates to how the mission and how Net Zero Cities can support Kozani in its work, including its work as part of the Neutron project, but also share just a little bit maybe inspiration and encouragement around the work that you're trying to do. About 20 years ago, I was asked, I started working for a city, this was in North America, and one of the first things I was asked to do was explore the creation of a neighborhood energy utility that could be carbon neutral. And the reason I just wanted to share that is that part of the journey in responding to that question, and as it relates to this particular project and the workshop, is for the city at the time, they had no involvement in energy utilities. They had zero direct involvement in any heating networks or district heating. And when we started the conversation, both the finance director and the head of engineering didn't even want to talk about it. And it was an interesting moment in time because it created an opportunity to develop a process that brought everybody along in the exploration of how would you answer a question like that. And through that process that we created, a year later, you had the same head of engineering and finance director recommending to the politicians that the city build, own, and operate that neighborhood energy utility, which from the day it started operation, reduced greenhouse gas emissions by 70%, produced a return on investment to the city of greater than 7% real return on investment, and has since spread and expanded geographically across different adjacent neighborhoods so that it's now about 4 times the size of the initial phase of development. And it's really changed how that city has looked at energy. What's equally notable is how they reduced greenhouse gas emissions through their heating network. And that is that they are heating the buildings and developing hot water by harvesting heat from the sewer that runs underneath the neighborhood. And at the time, it was only the 4th system of its type in the world that was doing that. And we're seeing more and more of that activity. And it's really exciting for me personally as a professional to see opportunities to work with cities in this area of work, because it's something I've had experience with and to really see the potential and the opportunities. And so I wanted to just reinforce that not only is Net Zero City is here to help you in your overall climate transition, but we're here to help with these specific kinds of challenges, to bring the necessary expertise and to work in partnership with you, because these processes are very difficult. It requires a lot of time, it requires an investment in engaging the community, the stakeholders, the building owners, looking at policy, figuring out the financing, etc. And our job is to help you with every step of that process. The other thing I wanted to share very briefly is a few years later, maybe 5 years later, I had a similar opportunity in a different city to build one of the first building energy efficiency financing programs anywhere. And through that, we were able to go through a process of using data on building energy use to understand what the total capital would be needed over 20 years to address all buildings across the entire city, so that we could think about it from a holistic perspective and not just from the perspective of any individual building. And I think that that's really important in the context of this work for two reasons. One is it really raises questions about, for the city, how to think about not just what's needed in terms of building improvements and how much capital and the financing of that, but what's the actual model for achieving that work citywide? Are there more incentives? Are there policies that are needed? How do you aggregate the building activity? How do you prepare the supply chain so that contractors that do building improvements, etc., are ready to do this work in a scale that would be necessary as part of this work in the mission? The other piece of it that I think is quite important is it changes the way we can frame the work and engage the broader community, because it's one of the most durable investments that creates jobs within our communities and brings a return on investment. Now, not every activity by itself is going to provide a positive return on investment, but if it's done as a whole, in an aggregated way, it can. And again, part of our job is to really work with you through this process to understand what's possible and then begin to implement. And I know, and I've been enjoying the opportunity since I joined Climate Kick and came to Europe, and now through the mission, to get to know cities and different parts of Europe, understand the context and the work that you're doing, and bring some ideas from around the world and experts and ideas so that we can really work together to pursue not only the goals of the Neutron Project, but the goals that Kozani has as part of its participation in the mission, and with the other cities in Greece that are also participating in the mission, to achieve the outcome, to attract the investment that's necessary, and to make our cities healthier and climate resilient as we go forward. And I look forward to listening to the conversation as much as possible. I know you have quite a bit of discussion, and the cities will be speaking together about their work. So I look forward to sharing in that, and again, planning to come and visit you sometime in 2024. So thanks again. I'm happy to try to answer any questions, or if there's other things that we could discuss here today, but wanted to share a few thoughts and just congratulate you on this project and the work that you've done so far with the Pilot Cities program and your work in the mission as it stands. So thanks again.
Thank you very much, Mr. Osdoba, for your insightful thoughts on our Neutron project.